I was here at Maryville, I don't know many people knew it, but I came here pretty much as a kind of an angry young man and not very secure. And I came from a background of alcoholism and dysfunction in the family. And Maryville College just happened to be the place where I should have been. But when I was a senior, I was president of student council, and we had some of the folks here who were classmates of mine in the '57 graduating class. And at our 50th reunion, basically, I told them that I appreciated their warmth and the fact that they affirmed me and were very, very kind and generous to me. And I thank you, those of you who are here and those who are not, for all of that warmness and kindness. And then I want to thank, because if I told you what I did here at Maryville College, they probably would take this award away. Just but I think you have a great. He's gone with it already. And this is just and first I want to thank everybody that's here, and I want to thank Tom. I think the college is in good hands with Tom, and we have Diana Kanakaris, and I don't know whether Karen Eldridge is here, but they've been very kind to Marge and I, but the farm, I often say, when people ask me a little bit about my background, I always say I grew up on a farm, and I was kind of a semi-orphan, and my sister and we were there for several years, and I often, why do I say that? Well, that was a launching pad. Half of what I learned I had to forget, and the other half stood me in pretty good stead. But as the video pointed out, actually I was where I should be, and almost everything in my life that's happened, I think when I can look at that now and say, you know, years ago, and maybe from get-go, the Lord said, when he saw me out in the field working, this kid's going to need a hell of a lot of help, and I'm going to see him through this whole thing, and I can say that. And back to what Dr. Barker said about the three important things in life. One would be your choice of your religion, and second, your choice of your marriage partner, and then your vocation. And at the time I heard that, I thought, that's not right. And for several years after I graduated, I had that, and I should say ass backwards. I really had it backwards. And but the farm was a launching pad. Maryville College was a satellite launching pad for me. And I appreciate everything that the college did for me, and I leave a little bit of my heart here at Maryville College. I was president of student council, and Dr. Ralph Waldo Lloyd was the president. And he told me one time in one of the student faculty meetings, Dick Henderson, you want to do away with all the rules that we have here. And I think we were asking for another night for the girls to go down to Maryville, the town of Maryville, to that one theater, right, to say, but we enjoyed our association with the other colleagues and the staff here. And I think you have a wonderful staff, the ones that we've met so far. And it's in the last several years, and I'm 82, almost 83, but I've just been so blessed. We had a daughter that died with bone cancer, but I still have been blessed, and I've learned so much from her. And I look back at those three important things. Now I know the order of things is that when I was orphaned or semi-orphaned, that God basically was looking after me. And I woke up this morning at the motel and I said something, that hymn that said, tenderly, tenderly, Jesus is calling. And I thought, you know, I didn't know it for many years, but he's been calling me from the get-go. So that's one. I have a loving father who loves me, and you can get fancy with all your religion talk and this sort of thing, but just boil it down to Jesus loves me for the Bible tells me so, right? Jesus loves me for the Bible tells me. And then the second thing, I've been surrounded by a lovely wife, and Margie might stand up right there. She's just, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for my wife. And then I have a daughter, Dr. Kathy Covington, who's a pediatrician, and she's the love of my life. I don't tell her that as often as I should, but there was one time in my life I couldn't tell you I loved you because I never heard it from my mom or dad, and I never heard it from my grandfather and grandmother. But I could say I love football and that sort of thing, but if I had to say, and I don't know why the wife married me, because she would say, Dick, I love you, and I would have to go, I love you, right? Just say, but, and I talked to my sister one time about that, and she said, well, I don't say I love you like that. You just go around, you're just a bunch of hypocrites. So, but we got her straightened out on that too. But, and Dr. Ray Covington is my son-in-law, wonderful, wonderful person, and Ray, we appreciate you. So we have 5 children, and we have 10 grandchildren, and they're all lovely, and I can tell them all I love them. And then I love doing medicine. And I would just say for those of you out there, if you're younger, if you love what you do, you get lost in what you do. If you think you have everything, you don't, but if you just give it up and get working in something that you love, and it could be most anything, but the time goes so fast, and I'm going to be dead before I know it. Somebody said, what do you get for this award? And I said, I think they're going to give me a cemetery plot out in the college woods, right? And, but anyway, that's a bit of my story. I've been blessed so many times, and it's by people like your staff here and the college. And the other thing is I just say the best is yet to come. And I was going to tell you, I had a green jacket at home. I'm getting the age where I forget. And I said, we didn't bring a green jacket, so I got to wear this. And but I'll tell you a little joke. There were 2 old men walking down the street, and one of the men said, well, how are you doing? And he said, well, you know, I'm 80-some years old, and I just don't feel like I used to, and I don't expect to, but I got all the ailments. And this. Well, how are you doing? The other guy said, well, you know, my memory is gone, and it's just in bad shape. But, you know, I can't remember whether it was you or your brother that just died. So